Hello everyone, welcome to Matrix YouTube channel. Today we are here for the discussion of solutions of Matrix Olympiad paper which was held on 15th of October 2023. So let us start from class 9th and the subject is physics. So let us start our discussion. Our question number first is, in question number first, it is said, an athlete completes one round of a circular track of radius r in 40 seconds. So athletes is moving in a circular track having radius r and it completes one revolution. That means the time period is given, that is 40 seconds. What will be his displacement at the end of 2 minute 20 seconds? Okay, so let us convert this 2 minute 20 seconds in seconds. So as we know that in 1 minute there are 60 seconds, in 2 minutes there are 120 seconds. So in 120 we will add 20, total time becomes 140 seconds. Time is given 140 seconds. We know that in first revolution, when athlete starts from point A, it will cover one revolution and again reaches to point A. 40 seconds are completed. In next revolution, that means second revolution, that means 40 seconds are completed. In next third revolution, again there are 40 seconds are completed. That means in 120 seconds he will complete 3 revolution and again reaches to point A. And we have total time 140 seconds. So in next 20 seconds he will travel half of the circular path and will reaches to point B. In that case, we know that displacement is equals to the shortest distance between initial and final position, which is equals to the diameter, and we know that diameter is equals to 2r. So correct option is option B, 2r. Next question, question number 2. So in question number 2, it is said that a 150 meter long train is moving with uniform velocity of 45 km per hour. The time taken by train to cross a bridge of length 850 meter. Let us assume that we have a bridge which is having total length 850 meter. At initial position, the train is here and length of the train is 150 meter. So when train will cross this bridge, it has to travel distance of 850 plus 150 meter of its length also. So total displacement becomes equal to 1000 from 850 plus 150. Okay, and its uniform velocity is given, v is equals to 45 km per hour. We have to convert it into meter per second. For that we will multiply this by 5 upon 18. Okay, and the mass so we have to calculate the time. As we know that speed is equals to distance upon time, so time equals to become distance upon speed, which is, for distance we'll write 1000 divided by 45 multiplied by 5 and 18 goes in numerator. Okay, so from this by dividing from 3 it becomes 6 and it becomes 15. Okay, again from dividing by 3 it becomes 2 and it becomes 5. Now in numerator we have 1000 multiplied by 2, that means 2000, and in denominator we have 25. From here when we divide this 25 with 200, we will get 80. That means correct answer is 80 seconds. Okay, next question, question number 3. In question number 3, it is said that a cricket ball is thrown up with a speed of 19.6 meter per second. The maximum height it can reach is, as we know that here the initial speed of cricket ball is given, u is equals to 19.6 meter per second. As it will reaches to its maximum height, we know that the velocity, final velocity at maximum height, which becomes equal to 0. as the ball is going against gravity, so its acceleration will be equal to minus g, because direction of motion is against the direction of gravity, and the value of gravitational acceleration we know that it is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, we have to calculate the maximum height attained. That means we have to calculate the vertical displacement or vertical distance. So by using equations of motion, and specifically the third equation of motion, which is v square is equals to u square plus 2as, we have to calculate the value of s. From arranging this, we'll get s is equals to v square minus u square upon 2a. So now putting the values in this equation, s equal to v is 0 minus the speed is 19.6 multiplied by 19.6 because it is u square, divided by 2 multiplied by minus into 9.8. As we know that 9.8 multiplied by 2 is equals to 19.6. So this factor will be cancelled by this. Minus will be cancelled by this. So our correct answer is s is equals to 19.6 meter. So correct option is option B. Next question. Question number 4. In question number 4, it is a simple question. The rocket propulsion is associated with. So directly I can answer this. All know that it is based on Newton's third law of motion, which is action and reaction. Okay. Next question. Question number 5. Question number 5 again. There is a ball of mass 150 gram. Let's see, mass is given 150 gram. I'm converting it into kg because answers are in Newton second. That means in SI system. So it will become 0.150 grams. Okay. With an acceleration of 20 meter per second, that means acceleration is given 20 meter per second square. When hit by a force which acts on it for time is given 0.1 second. The impulsive forces, that means I am again reading this question, a ball of mass 150 gram moving with an acceleration of 20 meter per second. When it is hit by a force which acts for this time interval, then impulsive force. So we have to calculate the impulse. We know that formula for impulse is the force applied multiplied by time of contact. So from here, the value of force is given by mass into acceleration and time. I is equals to value is 0.15 multiplied by acceleration is 20, and here it is 0.1. From this 0, this 0.1 is converted into 1. Now we can see 0.15 multiplied by 2, which is equals to 0.3. Okay. And the unit of impulse is Newton second. So correct answer is option C. Next question. Question number 6. In question number 6, it is said, when a horse pulls a wagon, the force that causes the horse to move in forward is the force. Which force is responsible for the movement of wagon? Okay, when horse is pulling a wagon. So forward is the force. So we can see the force exerted by ground is responsible for the movement of wagon, because the horse is pushing the ground in backward direction, and each action has equal and opposite reaction. So ground will exert a force on horse. So this option A will be the correct answer. Question number 7, that is a match the following question. In this question, we have two columns and we have to match the linked quantities. So inertia of body we can see here. Okay, determine the matter content of the body. This will be the correct for inertia of body. So 3, friction force. Okay. As we know that when two bodies are slided over each other, then there is a opposing force which is known as friction force. So for friction force always opposes relative motion. So for this we will write code 2, centrifugal force. So for this I would like to tell something. As we know that each and every object in this universe tends to move along a straight line. So if you want to move any object in circular path or uniform circular motion, a special force is required which is known as centripetal force. And the direction of centripetal force is always toward the center of circular path and along radius. So if this is centripetal force, what is centrifugal force? Centrifugal force is a force which is always outward direction, which is always in outward direction, which is we can say which is just opposite to the centripetal force. So for centrifugal force, we can say which is always directed from the center around which the body is moving. So it is always directed away because centripetal is directed towards. So for this we will write 1. So the correct code is 321. Let us check 321. That means option C is our correct answer. Next question. Question number 8. In this we have to check which of the following statements are true or false. A body have a non-zero acceleration. That means a body have non-zero acceleration. That means A is not equal to 0. Can have constant velocity. We know that if velocity is constant, that means acceleration is equals to 0. But in this statement it is said the acceleration is not 0 but velocity is constant. This is not possible. So it is a false statement. Velocity is a vector quantity. Very simply we can directly say it. Yes, because it has direction and magnitude. An object can have constant speed but variable velocity. Yes, this can happen in circular motion. As we know that if a body is doing uniform circular motion, that means it is traveling equal distance in equal time interval. It is swiping equal angle in equal time interval. But at each instant of motion, the direction of motion is changing. That means in uniform circular motion, object have constant speed, but its velocity is not constant, it is variable. So this is also a true statement. So correct code of answer is false, true, true. Let us check false, true, true. That means option B is our correct answer. Okay. Next question. Question number 9. So it is a case-based question and it is said that the first law refers to the simple case when the net external force on a body is 0. The second law of motion refers to the general situation when there is a net external force acting on a body. It relates the net external force to the acceleration of body. Yes. So our question number 9, if a car with a mass of 1000 kg, mass is given, accelerating at 2 meter per second square, what is the net force acting on a car? Very simple question based on second law of motion, mass into acceleration. We know that mass is 1000, acceleration is 2, so answer will become 2000 Newton. So correct answer is option C. Next question, question number 10, which is based on same case, same para is given and we have to check our next question. A body experiences no acceleration, that means acceleration is 0. What can be concluded about the net external force on it? We know that F is equals to ma, mass can never be 0 for any object. If A is 0, then it means net external force is also 0. Now let us check our options. It is acting in the opposite direction to motion. It is saying what can we conclude about the net external force acting on it? In option A, it is acting in the opposite direction to the motion. No, this is wrong. It is equal to the weight of body. No, this is also wrong because we are talking about external force and we know that external force is 0. So correct answer is option C. So we have completed our solutions for subject physics. For more information, notifications regarding prizes and results of this Matrix Olympiad, I request you to please subscribe this YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. Now we will discuss the chemistry portion of class 9. Yes, let's see the question. Identify the heterogeneous mixture among the following. Option A is brine solution. Brine solution is a solution of NaCl plus water. It is a homogeneous mixture, so it is wrong option. Second is duralumin. Duralumin is an alloy of aluminium and copper, so it is also a wrong option. Option D is liquor ammonia. Liquor ammonia means when we dissolve ammonia in water, then it's known as a liquor ammonia. So it is also a homogeneous mixture of ammonia and water. So it is also a wrong option. Now let's see the option C. Option C is gun water. Gun water is a mixture of charcoal, sulfur and potassium nitrate and it is a heterogeneous mixture. So the option C is right option for question 11. Now let's see the next question. There is a mixture of 3 solids compounds A, B and C. Out of these components, A and C are soluble in water and C is sublimable as well. In what sequence the following techniques can be used for their effective separation? We know that there is three substances A, B and C. Okay, now let's see. A and C are soluble in water, but B is insoluble in water and the C is sublimable. So first, C can be separated by the sublimation process. So this is the first process, sublimation. By sublimation, we can gain or we can obtain C substance. Then we dissolve A and B in the water. So dissolution in water of A and B is the second process, and followed by filtration. Means if we dissolve A and B in water, then followed by the filtration process, because B is not soluble in water, so it is filtered out, and A is soluble in water. So in the last, A can be obtained from the crystallization from water extract. So let's see the sequence: sublimation, then dissolution in water, then filtration, and then the last is crystallization from water extract. So the option D is the right option. Now let's see the next question. Which property of aluminium is used in making of aluminium foils? First is malleability, second is ductility, C is luster, and D is conductivity. Which property of aluminium is used in making of aluminium foils? Aluminium foil is a thin foil, or we can say that thin sheet of aluminium. So by the malleability, or we can say the property of malleability is a property by which we can hammer the aluminium in the thin sheets. So the malleability is a property by which we get aluminium foils, which generally used in wrapping different food materials. Now let's see the next question. A drop each of two non-corrosive and non-irritating liquids A and B at temperature of 22 degree are placed on the skin. Liquid A gives more cooling sensation than liquid B. Which of the following can be said about the liquids A and B? Okay, now let's see the question. Liquid A gives more cooling sensation than liquid B. Why the liquid A giving more cooling sensation than liquid B? Because when E absorb more energy for the vaporization than liquid B, so it gave more cooling sensation. Means liquid A has high latent heat of vaporization than that of liquid B, and because of that high latent heat of vaporization, it absorbs more energy from the body. So the option A, C and D are the wrong option. Let's see the option A. Liquid A has higher boiling point than that of liquid B. No, it is a wrong option. Option C. Liquid A has low latent heat of vaporization than that of liquid B. It is also a wrong statement. Option D is the boiling point of liquid A and B are equal. So these A, C and D are wrong option. Option B is the right option, that liquid A has high latent heat of vaporization than that of liquid B, because solution A get more energy or absorb more energy from the body, because liquid A absorb more heat from the body. Because of that, more cooling sensation can be developed. Now let's see the question number 50. A flask containing a liquid X is heated until it boils as shown in the figure. Choose the incorrect statement about the particles of the substance during the process. Option A. Energy is absorbed by the particle in the liquid X. Yes, this is a right statement, because we know that when we provide heat to the substance or liquid X, then the X is absorb the energy. So the option A is the right statement, or we can say it is a true statement. Next, let's see the next option. The particles lose kinetic energy. No, when we heated any substance, then it is more energetic and have more kinetic energy, but in the option B, the particles lose kinetic energy. So in the question, it is asked that write the incorrect statement. So it is a incorrect statement. Okay, now let's see the next question. Question number 15. A flask containing a liquid X is heated until it boils as shown in the figure. Choose the incorrect statement about the particles in the substance during the process. Let's see the options. Option 1. Energy is absorbed by the particle in the liquid X. In the question, choose the incorrect statement. But we know that when we heated any substance, then it absorbed the energy. So the option A is the correct statement. Now let's see the C option. Eventually the particles throughout the liquid have enough energy to overcome the forces holding them together. C is also a right statement. When we heated a substance, or when we heated the liquid X, then the force of attraction present between the X is overcome, or we can say that it is dissociated. So the option C is also the correct statement. But in the question, ask the incorrect, choose the incorrect statement. Now let's see the option B. The particles lose kinetic energy. No, it is a wrong statement. When we heat any substance, or when we give the energy to any substance, then they have more kinetic energy. So option B is the incorrect statement. Now let's see the next question. Next question is, which of the following statement does not go with the liquid state? Does not go with the liquid state. It means, first, let's see the option first. Particles are loosely packed in the liquid state. It is a right statement. In the liquid state, particles are loosely packed. Second is, fluidity is maximum in the liquid state. No, it is a wrong statement. Fluidity is maximum in the gaseous state. So statement in the question, which of the following statement does not go with the liquid state? So this statement does not go with the liquid state, because fluidity is maximum in the gaseous state, not in the liquid state. Now let's see the C option. Liquids cannot be compressed much. This is right statement. Liquids cannot be compressed much. And the option D is, liquids take up the shape of any container in which they are placed. So the all three are right statement and go with the nature of liquid substances, but the B option is incorrect statement. So the B is the right option for question number 16. Now let's see the question number 17. Match column first with column second and select the correct answer using the codes given below. Column first. Particles move randomly. P is particles move randomly. Q is changes directly from solid to gaseous state. And R is particles are not free to move. And in the second column, there are three substances: sugar, nitrogen and ammonium chloride. Let's see the column second. In the column second, the first substance is sugar. We know that sugar is present in the solid state, and the solid states particles are not free to move. So the first is connected with the R option. Now let's see the second one. Second is the nitrogen. We know that nitrogen is a gas, means particles of the gas move randomly. So the option second goes with the P option. Now let's see the third one. Ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride is a substance which is sublimable. So what do you mean by sublimable? Sublimable substances are those substances which convert directly solid to vapor state. So changes directly from solid to gaseous state. Ammonium chloride is a substance which is directly convert solid to gaseous state. So P go with second, Q with third and R with first. So 2, 3, 1. B is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. Which of the following statement is or are true or false? Seema told that water is a compound, not an element, and to justify it, she gave the following statements. So let's see the first statement. First statement is heat and light are given out during its formation from its constituent elements. This is a completely true statement. We know that when any substance react with each other, then they release heat or energy for getting stable configuration or for get stable. So the option first is the right option. It contains hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 1/8 by mass. We know that in the water molecule, H2O is the formula of water. So in the H2O, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen is present, and we know that the mass of the hydrogen is 1. So here 2 hydrogens are present and the mass of oxygen is 16. So 2 and the mass of the oxygen is 16. So it's 2:16, and when we simplify it, then it is 1:8. So this statement is also a true statement. Now let's see the next one. Its boiling point is 373 Kelvin under 1 atmospheric pressure. We know that water boils at 100 degree, and we know that 0 degree is equal to 273 Kelvin, and 100 degree means when we add 100 in 273, then it becomes 373 Kelvin. So its boiling point is 373 Kelvin under 1 atmospheric pressure. This is also a right statement. So true, true and true. Option B is the correct option for this question. Now let's see the next question. Paragraph question. Observe the given diagram and answer the question. Okay, now let's see the question. Observe the given diagram and answers the questions that follows. Identify the correct statement. Solution of copper sulfate shows Tyndall effect. Yes. Next, let's see the question number 19. Identify the correct statement. Solution of copper sulfate shows Tyndall effect. No, this is a wrong statement, because copper sulfate solution is a true solution and true solutions do not show Tyndall effect. So this is a wrong statement. Tyndall effect can be observed when a fine beam of light enters a room through a small hole due to scattering of light by the particles of dust and smoke in the air. Yes, this is a right statement, because we know that the environment of room, or we can say in the atmosphere, there is a colloidal solution, and the colloidal solution scattered the light and show the Tyndall effect. Next, third option is Tyndall effect can be observed when sunlight passes through the canopy of a dense forest. Dense forest is also a colloidal solution, behaves as a colloidal solution. So because of that colloidal solution, Tyndall effect can be observed when sunlight passes through the canopy of a dense forest. Mixture of water and milk shows Tyndall effect. When we dissolve milk in water, then it is formed emulsion, and emulsion is a colloidal solution, and colloidal solution show Tyndall effect. So option 4 is also a right option. So we can see that option 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So option 2nd, 3rd and 4th means option C is the right option for this question. Okay, now let's see the next question. The diagram is similar. Now let's see the next question. When a beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution, it gets reflected, B is absorbed, C is scattered, and D is refracted. When a beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution, we know that the particle size of the colloidal solution is 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer, and they have capacity to scatter the light. So because of that, when a beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution, it gets So we know that when a beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution, it gets scattered. Okay, thank you.
Hello student, welcome to Matrix High School. Today we discuss about Matrix Olympiad paper solution for biology for class 9th. Let's start. Question number first. The two subunit of ribosome remain united at a critical ion level of option first magnesium, second calcium, third copper, and last one is manganese. According to question, ribosome units in this position, the magnesium ion help. So right answer for this question is magnesium ion. Next question, the phenomena of plasmolysis is evident when cells are kept in hypotonic solution, hypertonic solution, isotonic, and none of these. Our right answer for this plasmolysis evident, that is hypertonic solution. Next question, digestive enzyme hydrolase are present in vacuole, second lysosome, third Golgi and mitochondria. Hydrolase enzyme present in lysosome that are the suicidal bag of the cell. So right option is option B. Next question, some vascular bundles are described as open because they open vascular bundle passes conjunctive tissue between xylem and phloem. No. Are not surrounded by pericycle? No. Are surrounded by pericycle but not endodermis? No. Are capable of producing secondary xylem and phloem due to presence of cambium. That is right answer for open. Next question, which of the following is not a connective tissue? Connection tissue, bone, right, cartilage, right, blood, right, but muscles is the right answer for not. Mean 25 right answer is option D, muscles. Next question, the myelinated neurons to adjacent myelin sheath are separated by gap called node of Ranvier, synaptic cleft, synaptic knob, and neural plate. Our right answer for the myelinated neuron, that this position. So our right answer is node of Ranvier for this question. Next one, match the column first and second. Cuticle layer that related to waxy layer. Next, stomata related to guard cell. And next, epidermis present in single layer. So according to options 3 and 1 and 2. So our right answer is 312. Option C is the right answer for this column first and second matching. Next question, which of the following statements true and false? Elastic cartilage is present at the joint of long bone. Hervatian lamellae are the structure found in hyaline cartilage. Wrong, because found in bone. The kind of tissue that forms supportive structure in our pinna of external ear is also found in tip of the nose. So according to statements, elastic cartilage is present joint. Wrong, false. And Hervatian canal present in bone. That is wrong, false. And last one is supportive structure or pinna of external ear also found in tip. Cartilage present at the nose. So False, false, true. False, false, true. According to statements, false, false, true. Option C is the right answer for this question. Next one is paragraph based, diagram based question. Below diagram is a structure which is present only in eukaryotic cell, mean not present in prokaryotic cell. Pro mean bacterial, primitive cell, bacterial cell, bacterial cell, lack of true nucleus. So this diagram shows structure that is nucleus, nucleus present in eukaryotic cell and not present in bacterial or prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell, pro mean primitive nucleus, primitive nucleus mean lack of true nuclear membrane. So identify the above figure. Above figure is nucleus. Right answer is A, option A, nucleus. Next one. What is the function of X? What is the function of X? X body, X. X present in the nucleus. X is nucleolus. So, function, synthesis of protein? No. Synthesis of ribosome? That is right answer. Ribosomal factory is X. So, our correct option is B for 30th question. These are the solution for biology portion for class 9th. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Matrix Olympiad. Today we will discuss October 15th mathematics paper solution. Okay. So first question, find the value of A and B if root 11 minus root 7 upon root 11 plus root 7 equal to A minus root 77. So see here, what we have to do, we have to convert in this form. So root 11 minus root 7 upon root 11 plus root 7. So first of all, rationalize the denominator. So we will multiply with root 11 minus root 7 upon root 11 minus root 7. Okay. So now this will be the A minus B, A minus B. So A minus B is whole square, root 11 minus root 7 whole square upon, this is A plus B, A minus B, that is the A square minus B square. So it will be the root 11 square minus root 7 square. Okay. In the next step, A minus B whole square, use the identity. Root 11 square, 11 plus B square, root 7 square, 7 minus 2AB, yani 2 into root 11 into root 7, root 77 upon, that is the 11 minus 7. So that will be the 11 plus 7, 18 minus 2 root 77 upon 4. Now we take common from 2 from here. So this will be the 9 minus root 77 upon 2, and we can write 9 upon 2 minus 1 upon 2 root 77. So when we compare with A minus B root 77, so value of the A will be 9 upon 2 and value of the B will be the 1 upon 2. So 9 upon 2 and 1 upon 2 is the correct answer. The product of two irrational number is, so when we take product of two irrational number, it may be rational or irrational. How? Just think, that is the 2 root 2 into root 3. We are getting the root 6. Okay. And now another two irrational number we are taking, that is the root 2 into root 2. That may be same like this. This will be the 2. Root 2 and root 8 both are irrational. So the product of this will be the root 16 equal to 4. So sometime we are getting the irrational number and sometime we are getting the rational number. Okay. So the product of two irrational number is rational and irrational both. So both A and B are the correct answer. Okay. So option C is the correct. Okay. The next question, 1176 equal to 2 raised to power A into 3 raised to power B into 7 raised to power C. Then the value of the A plus B plus C. So solve it. 1176 can be written as 2 raised to power 3 into 3 raised to power 1 into 7 raised to power 2. 1176 can be written as 2 raised to power 3, 3 raised to power 1 and 7 raised to power 2. So the value of the A when we compare 2 raised to power a into 3 raised to power b into 7 raised to power c. So the value of the a is 3, value of the b is 1, and value of the c is 2. The sum of these is 3 plus 1 4 plus 2 6. So option B is the correct answer. Next, the graph of the linear equation cut at the x-axis. So this is the graph, and when it cut the x-axis, it means on the x-axis. If this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. On the x-axis, the value of the y is always 0. So we have to find the coordinate. So at y equals to 0, the value of the graph 2x minus 0 equal 4. So 2x equal 4, x equal to 2. So the value of the x equal to 2, 8, y equals to 0. So coordinate will be 2 and 0. Coordinate will be 2 or 0. Okay. The perpendicular distance between the graph of the equation x minus 3x equal 2. So in the graph, that is the point 1, 2, 3. That is minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3 of the x-axis. Now it is the y-axis. So the perpendicular distance between the graph x equal to minus 3. What is the graph of the x equal to minus 3? This one. And what is the graph of x equal to 2? This one. What is the perpendicular distance between them? The perpendicular distance between them is the 3 unit, this one, and 2 unit. Total 5 units. So option D is the correct, 5 unit. Okay, next question. 10 years ago, father's was 12 times age is son. Just assume father's age is x and son's age is y. So 10 years ago, yani x minus 10 and son's age is y minus 10. Father's age was 12 times age is son. Father's age was 12 times of his son. Okay. And so this will be the x minus 10 equal 12y minus 120. So x minus 12y equal minus 110. Okay. Another format is saying that is the after 10 years, father's age will be the x plus 10 equal twice of his son age. So y plus 10. So it will be the x plus 10 equal 2y plus 20, and that will be the x minus 2y equal 10. So take the both equation and solve. So I am writing here x minus 12y equal minus 110. So when we will solve, eliminate x, subtract. So it will be the 10y, and that is the 120, y equal to 12. Okay, y equal to 12 in any equation, it will be the x minus 2 into 12 equal 10. So x will be the 34. So what will be the age of the father? That will be the 34 years. Okay, the next question, find the value of the k. 0, 2 is equidistant from the 3k and k5. So it is saying 0, 2 is equidistant from the 2 points, that is the 3k and k5. Okay, so we will find the distance. It is saying find the value of the k. So this distance are same. So if this is point A, B, C, then AB equal BC. So you know if AB equal to BC, then AB square equal BC square. So use the distance formula to find the distance of the AB. So the distance will be the 3 minus 2 whole square plus k minus 2 whole square. You know the x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square equal, that is the 0 minus k square plus 2 minus 5 whole square. So that will be the 9 plus k square minus 4k plus 4 equal minus k ka square, it is the k square, and minus 3 ka square 9. So k square will be the cancel out, minus 4k equal to 9 minus 13. Okay, so minus 4k equal to minus 4, k equal to minus 1. Sorry, k equal to plus 1. So the result is the 1. Okay, next question, 2 points having same abscissa but different coordinate in a Cartesian plane. in the Cartesian plane x, y. Same abscissa, just assume 2 points. Having the same abscissa means x, y and x, y days. So if the abscissa is the same, then the points will parallel to y-axis or on the y-axis, because in this situation the abscissa always remains same. So this point may be the x-axis, may be the y-axis or may be parallel to y-axis. So y-axis or a line parallel to y-axis, that is the option B is the correct answer. Next question, the area of the triangle formed by the points. So what is the area of the triangle when the vertices of the triangle is given? That is if vertices of the triangle is given, the formula of area will be 1 by 2 x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus y2. And what are the x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, y3? X coordinate and y coordinates of the vertices. So the area will be the 1 by 2 x1 2 y2 minus y3 0 minus 6 plus x2 6 y3 6 minus y1 0 plus x3 4 y1 minus y2, that is the 0. Okay, so this will be the 1 by 2 minus 12 plus that will be the 36, that will be the 24 upon 2 12 square unit. So the correct answer is 12 square unit. Okay, the next question, in the given figure determine the value of the y. We have to find the value of the y. This angle is the 5y, so this one is also 5y, vertically opposite angle, and this is a line. On a line, the sum of the all angle on a straight line is the 180. So 5y plus 5y plus 2y equal to 180. That is the 12y equal to 180. So what will be the value of the y? Y will be the 15. So what is the value of the y? Y will be the 15 degree. C is the correct answer. Next. Okay, the next question, in the given figure L parallel to M, then the value of the axis. These are the two lines L and M. These lines are parallel. So find the value of the x. So here we will draw a parallel line. So this angle is 65, though this angle is also 65, alternative interior angle, and this angle is 40, so this angle is also 40, same the alternative interior angle, though the total x will be the 65 plus 45, that is the 65 plus 40, that is the 105 degree. So option A is the correct, the value of the x is the 105 degree. Next question, if AB parallel to CD, there are the two lines AB parallel to CD. Both lines are parallel. PQ perpendicular to CD. There is a perpendicular drawn on PQ. Like PQ is a perpendicular on CD. Then relation between the AB and PQ. AB and PQ. So these lines are parallel. So this angle is, this is 90. So this is also 90 na? Corresponding angle. So it is also on 90 degree on AB. So it means it is also perpendicular on AB. So that AB is perpendicular to PQ. Next, it is given that is the in figure PQRS is square, SRT is a equilateral triangle. If PQRS is square, so all sides of the square are equal and each angle is of the 90 degree. Okay, so these angles are 90 degree. Now it is saying the SRT is a equilateral triangle. So this is equilateral triangle. So all this will be the same. Okay, now it is saying the find the angle TQR. TQR. We have to find this angle. Okay, now in the equilateral triangle, what is the value of the each angle? That is the 60 degree. So the total angle 90 plus 60, that is the 150 degree. And when we observe the TRQ, these lines are equal. So if two sides of the triangle are equal in the triangle TRQ, so that is the isosceles triangle. So it means these two angles will be the equal. Okay, apply the angle sum property. X plus 90 plus 16, that is the 150 degree equal to 180 degree. When we will solve, the value of the x will be the 15 degree. So what is the angle? TQR. So that is the x is the 15 degree. So option C is the correct 15 degree. Next question. In figure, AC perpendicular to CE. AC perpendicular to CE, that is given already in the diagram. The ratio of the A, angle B, angle C equal to 3:2:1. Angle A, that is a 3x, B 2x, and C, that is a 1x. Okay, then find angle ECD. ECD, we have to find this angle. Just this is the K. So 3 to 5 and 6x equal to 180 degree. So x will be the 30 degree. It means this angle is the 30 degree, this angle is the 90 degree. So what will be this angle? This angle will be the 60 degree according to the sum of angle on a straight line equal to 180 degree. So option B is the correct. Now if the side of the triangle are produced in order, the sum of the three exterior angles so formed is. It is saying in a triangle, if three sides are produced, so what is the sum of the three exterior angle? In any polygon, the sum of the exterior angle is always 360 degree. So nothing to do. The correct answer is 360 degree. Okay, next question. If one of the zero of the polynomial a square plus 9 of x square plus 13x plus a is reciprocal of the other, then find the value of a. Ki one zero and other zero, they are reciprocal of the other. It means their product is 1. It means if one of the zero is just assumed that is the alpha. So another, it will be the 1 upon alpha. So it means the product is 1. Product of zeros is 1. And we know in any quadratic polynomial, the product of zeros, alpha and beta are zeros of the polynomial, then the product always is the constant upon, what is the constant? 6a upon coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x square is a square plus 9. And what is the product according to that? उनका product कितना है आपके पास में? 1 है. So it means alpha dot beta is equal to 1 equal to 6a upon a square plus 9. So that when we will solve it, it is the a square plus 9 minus 6a equals to 0. So what will be the value of the a? When we will factorize, that is the a minus 3 and a minus 3. So value of the possible value of the a is 3 and 3. So what is the value of the a? 3. Okay. Let f(x) be the polynomial such that f minus 1 by 2 equals to 0, then factor of f(x). If f a equals to 0, then x minus a is the one of the factor of polynomial always. So it means x equal to a is the 0. So we will solve it. So similarly, that is the x equal to minus 1 by 2 is the 0 of the polynomial. So factor will be the 2x equals to minus 1. When we will solve, that is the 2x plus 1 equal to 0. So what will be the one of the factor? 2x plus 1. Okay. Next, x plus 1 is factor of x raised to power n plus 1 only if n is a odd number, n is a even number, n is negative integer, n is positive integer. Which of the case is correct? So you know, if x minus a is factor of any polynomial f(x), so putting at f x by a, yani x is replaced by a, then the value is 0. Then it will be the only factor. Okay, so it is saying x plus 1 is the factor. So if x plus 1 is the factor, so x equal to minus 1 when we put equal to 0. So at f x equal to minus 1, the value of the x raised to power n plus 1 be the 0. And when it will be the 0? If x raised to power minus 1 raised to power n plus 1 equals to 0, minus 1 raised to power n equals to minus 1. When it is possible? It is possible only if the value of the n is the odd number. Okay, if we put n equals to 1, then what will be the value? Negative's power is odd number, that is the negative, and we required minus 1. So we put n equals to 2, that will be the positive, not equal to this one. So at n equals to only 1, 3, 5, 7 like this, the situation satisfy. So the correct answer is these are the only odd number. So n is an odd number. Okay, which of the surds is largest? What is the surds? Surds is the simplest irrational number. A irrational number which cannot be more simplified, that is called surds. So which is the largest surds? That is the smallest, that is the largest, because root 34 is the largest irrational number which cannot be simplified more. So see the next question. The value of this number, we have to simplify it. So the number root 11, root 11, root 11, root 11. When we will split it, this can be written as root 11 multiply roots. It means 11's power 1 upon 4 and 3 times roots, that means 11 raised to power 1 upon 8 and 4 times roots, that means 11 raised to power 1 upon 16. So now this one is also can be written as 11 raised to power 1 upon 2. No issue. So here all base are same, so we can add the power. So when we can write 11 raised to power 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 upon 16. So the simplified answer will be 11 raised to power 15 upon 16. So this number can be written as 11 raised to power 15 upon 16. So now this is the correct answer. Option D is the correct. 51. Match the column 1 with column 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below. We have angles that measure between the 0 degree and 90 degree is called angles जिसकी value 0 degree और 90 degree बीच में हो, they are called acute angle. Nothing to worry. The option B is the 2. And linear pair of angle also called linear pair of angle. It means sum of the linear pair of angle is 180 degree. And here see, supplementary angle sum is also 180 degree. And why this answer is not correct? Because the an acute angle lies between the 0 and 90 and the vertically opposite angle are equal. That is not compulsory to the sum of their angles will be the 90 degree. So that one will be the correct. And when two lines intersect, the pair of opposite angles so formed is called pair of opposite angle, that is a vertically opposite angle. So correct answer is 213. 213 option C is the correct. 52. Match column first with column second and select the correct answer. P is a line segment joining the corner of triangle to the midpoint of opposite side. So a triangle ABC, D is the midpoint, so AD is called median. It is direct definition. So second is answer. A line segment from a corner of a triangle and perpendicular to the opposite side, that is the altitude. It is called altitude. So Q's answer is third. Altitude. R, a perpendicular bisector of the sides of a triangle passes through the same points is called perpendicular bisector of sides of a triangle. That is the perpendicular bisector of sides of the triangle passes through same point. जिस same point से पास होते हैं उसको क्या बोला जाता है आपके पास में? Circumcenter. So option A is the correct. So the correct answer are 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1 option A. Any point lies on the y-axis. You know the any point lying on the y-axis, it means the value of the x coordinate means abscissa is 0. So where is the abscissa is the 0? That is the option 3. 3 is the correct. The graph of 2x plus 5y equal to 10 on meet on x-axis. You know that at the x-axis the y is the 0. So put in this equation 2x plus 5y equal to 10 at x-axis y is the 0. So at y equal to 0, the value of this linear equation will be 2x plus 5 into 0, 0 equal to 10. So the value of the x is 5. So what is the coordinate? 5, 0, 5, 0, 2 is the correct. And the solution of the 4x minus 5 y is. Check this is the which of these is the solution. So when we put x equals to 2, 4 into x equals to 2 minus 5 into 0. So 8 minus 5, sorry 8 minus 0, that is the 8. So correct. We are getting the right hand side. So definitely 1 is the solution. So what is the correct? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Option C is the correct answer. Okay, next. Which of the following statements are true? There are finite rational number between 1 and 2. No. There may be the infinite rational number between the any two numbers we can find. So first is the false. Second is the degree of the zero polynomial is not defined. Yes. Why? We can write 0 into x raised to power 0. What is the zero polynomial? Means exact 0. 0 can be written as 0 raised to power 0. 0 raised to x raised to power 1. 0 into x raised to power 2. Such like that 0 equal to x raised to power n. There is no fixed value. You cannot decide. So degree of the zero polynomial is not defined. True. Root 5 square minus root 2 square is a rational. Root 5 square. What is the root 5 square? That is the 5 minus 2. That is the 3. And 3 is a rational number. So this one is the also true. So what is the option? FTT. FTT option D is the correct. Now next is the which of the following statements are true? Minus 1, 1 and 1 minus 1 have same quadrant. Let's see. That is the first, that is the second, that is the third, that is the fourth. In the first quadrant, both are positive. In the second quadrant, x is positive, x is negative, y is positive. In the third quadrant, both are negative. In the fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. So minus 1, 1, x negative, y positive. So x negative, y positive lies in this one. And another one, 1, minus 1, x positive, y negative lies in this one. It means first one is lying in the second quadrant and this one line is the fourth quadrant. So quadrant are not same. So statement is false. Second one is saying if any linear polynomial in one variable have only one zeros. Yes, it is the correct. Any linear polynomial in one variable, that is can be written in the x plus b. So here we will get the unique value and we will find the 0, that is the x equal to minus b upon a. So this one is also correct. The degree of the cubic polynomial is 3. Yes, degree of the cubic polynomial is always 3. So FTT option C is the correct. Next, a triangle cannot have more than one right angle. Here, let's check in a triangle. If two angles are right angle, so it means if there is any value of the third angle, it will be the more than 180 degree. So this is not possible. So a triangle cannot have more than one right angle. That is the correct. ASA congruency is axiom. No, only SAS congruency is the axiom. ASA we proved by the theorem. So this statement is false. The coefficient of x cube in x cube plus 2x square plus 1 is 2. The coefficient of x cube is here nothing. That means it is the 1. So coefficient is 1. So it 1 is also false. So TFF is the correct. 57. A system of a linear equation is given as x plus 7y equals to 7, 2x plus ky equal to 14. Based on the above equation, answer the following. If the given system has linear equation has infinite many solutions, so then the value of the k If a system of linear equations have infinite many solutions, then the ratio of their coefficients are same. So let's check the ratio. That is the x plus 2y plus 7 equals to 0, 2x plus ky plus 14 equals to 0. So the ratio is coefficient of x in first is 1 upon 2, 2 upon k equal to 7 upon 14. It is saying if it is having the infinite many solutions, then that will be a1 upon a2 equal b1 upon b2 equal c1 upon c2. So when we are taking this one, the value of the k will be the 4, okay, and similarly when we are taking this 1, the value of the k will be the 4. So what will be the value of the k? That will be the 4. In both situations we are getting value 4. Next is saying the system of linear equation is given based on above, answer the following: k equals to 2, then the set of linear equations are. Now it is saying when we put k equals to 2, so one equation will be the x plus 2y plus 7 equals to 0, and another one will be the 2x plus 2y, and k equals to 2, then k equals to 2 is that is the 2y plus 14 equals to 0. Now the ratio of their coefficient 1 upon 2, that is 2 upon 2, and the ratio of a1 upon a2 and b1 upon b2 is not equal. If the ratio is not equal, then the lines are intersecting. If the lines are intersecting, it means both pair of linear equation have unique solution. Next, from the graph, answer the following question: distance of a point A from the origin. This is the origin. Okay, the distance of point A. So in the x-axis the distance is the 2. In the y-axis the distance is the 4. Okay, so this is the 90 degree. So we can use the Pythagoras. So that is the 2 square plus 4 square. 2 square plus 4 square's root. Okay, hypotenuse will be the 4 plus 16, that is the root 20. So option B is the correct, that is the root 20 unit. The distance of point B from the y-axis. So this is the y-axis, okay, and the distance from point B, this will be with this. So distance from the point will be the, if we measure, that is the 5 unit. So the distance will be the 5 unit. Okay, thank you so much.
Hello student, welcome to Matrix YouTube channel. We are here to discuss the solution of Matrix Olympiad paper of class 9th reasoning conducted on 15 October 2023. Hope you performed very well. So let's get started. So question number 61, in which of the following question in number series is given with one term missing? Choose the correct alternatives that will continue the same pattern and replace the question mark in the given series. So series is 120, 99, 80, 63, 48 and find the next number. So first find the pattern of the question. So pattern of the question is 120, it means 11 square minus 1, it means 120. 99 means 10 square minus 1, it means 99. 80 means 9 square minus 1, it means 80. 63, it means 8 square minus 1. 48, it means 7 square minus 1. 11 square, 10 square minus 1, 11 square minus 1, 10 square minus 1, 9 square minus 1, 8 square minus 1, 7 square minus 1. Similarly, next number is 6 square minus 1. 6 square minus 1, it means 35. So next term is 35. It means option A is the correct answer. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is find the missing number. So series is 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18, missing number and 54. So find the pattern of the question. So pattern of the question 1, 2, 2. It means 1 multiplied 2. It means 2. Now 2, 2, 3. It means 2 multiply 1.5. It means 3. Now 3 to 6. 3 multiplied by 2. It means 6. Now 6 multiply by 1.5. 6 multiply by 1.5, it means 9. Now 9 multiply by 2, it means 18. Now similarly 18 multiply 1.5. 18 multiply 1.5, it means 27. So missing number is 27. So option B is the correct answer of this question. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 63. Rasik walked 20 meter towards north. Then he turns right and walked 30 meter. Then he turns right and walks 35 meter. Then he turns left and walks 15 meter. Finally, he turns left and walks 15 meter. How far and in which direction is he from the starting point? Before starting this question, we should know that there are 4 types of direction. One is north, south, east and west. And 4 cardinal direction. One is northeast, other one is southeast, other one is southwest, and last one is northwest. Okay, according to question, Rasik walked 20 meter towards north. So starting direction of Rasik in the north. He goes towards north direction 20 meter. Then he turns right. Then he turn right. One right turn, it means 90-degree clockwise turn. One left turn, it means 90-degree anti-clockwise turn. So Rasik turns right and walk 30 meter Then he turns right and walk 35 meter. He turns right and walk 35 meter. Then he turns left. He turns left and walk 15 meter Finally, he turns left and walk 15 meter. Let's suppose end point is B and starting point is A. Okay. How far and in which direction is he from the starting point? So find the distance between starting point and end point and find the direction of the end point from starting point. So AB is equals to, find the distance between A and B. So AB is 30 plus 15. 30 plus 15, it means 45. And which direction? So find the direction of end point from the starting point. So east direction. So find the direction of B respect with A. So it is in east. So right answer is 45 meter east direction. It means option B is the correct answer of this question. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So next question is, one morning after sunrise, Suresh was standing facing a pole. The shadow of the pole falls exactly to his right hand. So which direction was he facing? Position of sun in the morning time. Is in east direction, and shadow is always formed in the west direction. Morning time. Shadow always formed in the west direction in the morning time. So shadow of the pole falls exactly his right hand. Suresh was standing facing a pole, and the shadow of pole, let's suppose this is a pole, and shadow of pole is in the right side of Suresh. Right side of Suresh. So which direction was he facing? So Suresh was facing in the south direction. South direction. Suresh was facing in the south direction. So it means option B is the correct answer. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 65. Pariniti ranked 17th place from the top and 28th place from the bottom among these who made it to the final round of Miss India contest. 14 girls fell in the previous round. How many girls enrolled in the contest? So find the total girls. Find the total girls who enrolled the contest. Okay, according to question, Pariniti ranked 17th place from the top and 28th place from the bottom. So Pariniti rank from the top side is 17 and 28 from the bottom in the final round. In the final round. So find the total girls in the first, find the total girls in the final round. So formula of total is equals to top position plus bottom position of the same person minus 1. So top position. So top position is 17 plus bottom position of Pariniti is 28 minus 1. It means 45. 17 plus 28, it means 45 minus 1, it means 44. So 44, there are 44 girls in the final round and 14 girls failed. So 14 girls failed in the previous round. So how many girls enrolled in the contest? So find the total girls who enrolled in the contest. Find the total girls. Final round girls plus 14 girls failed and previous round girls. It means 58. There are 58 girls in the who enrolled the contest. So right answer is option D. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 66. In a queue of students facing north, Aisa and Anisa are standing at 10th and 8th position from the left and right end respectively. If another student arriva who is 12th position from the left and is exactly in between Aisa and Anisa, then find the position of Aisa from right end. Okay, according to question, position of Aisa is 10 from left side, and position of Anisa is 8 from right side. Position of Anisa is 8 from right side. If another student arriva who is 12th position from the left end, from the position of arriva is 12 from the left end. Okay, position of Aisa is 10 and position of arriva is 12. So there are one person in between Aisa and arriva, and Aisa is exactly in between Aisa and Anisa. So similarly, there are one person between arriva and Anisa. Okay, find the position of Aisa from the right end. First, find the total student. So formula of total student is equals to left position plus right position plus number of mid person. Number of mid student. Left position of Aisa is 10 plus left position of Anisha is 8 plus there are 3 person, include Araiva, in between Aisha and Anisha, 1, 2 and 3. So plus 3. It means there are 21 students in between in this row. Okay. Now find the position of Aisha from the right end. Position of Aisha from the right end. So find the position of Aisha from the right end. So formula is total minus position of Aisha from left end plus 1. So total is 21 minus position of Aisha from left is 10, please. So 10 plus 1. It means 21 plus 1. It means 22 minus 10. It means 12th position. So Aisha is 12th position from the right end. It means option B is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 67. If the sign plus and divide and the number 2 and 4 are interchanged, which one of the following 4 equation would be correct? So interchange the sign plus and divide and number, interchange number are 2 and 4. 2 and 4. So put the option one by one and then interchange the sign and number. Okay. And then see which one will follow correctly. So first taking option A. Option A is 4 divided by 2 plus 3 is equals to 6. Interchange the sign and number. 4 it means 2, divide it means plus, 2 means 4, plus means divide, 3 is equals to 6. 4 divided by 3 plus 2 never equals to 6. So it means option A is the incorrect option. Now taking option B. B is 2 plus 4 divided by 3 is equals to 3. So 2 means 4, plus means divide, 4 means 2, divide means plus, 3 is equals to 3. 4 divided by 2, it means 2, 2 plus 3 never equals to 3. It means option B also incorrect option. Now taking option C is 4 plus 2 divided by 6 is equals to 1.5. 4 means 2, plus means divide, 2 means 4, 2 means 4, divide means plus, 6 is equals to 1.5. 2 divided by 4, it means 0.5 plus 6 is equals to 1.5. 0.5 plus 6 never equals to 1.5. It means option C is also incorrect. So correct answer is option D. Now check. Option D is 2 plus 4 divided by 6 is equals to 8. 2 means 4, plus means divide, 4 means 2, divide means plus, 6 is equals to 8. 4 divided by 2. Using BODMAS rule, 4 divided by 2, it means 2 plus 6 is equals to 8. Yes, A is equals to 8. It means option D is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 68. In the question below consists of a question and two statement number 1 and 2 are given. You have to decide the way, whether the data provided in this statement are sufficient to answer the question. Read both the statements and give a appropriate answer. Question is, what will be the total weight of 10 poles when each pole is of equal weight? We have two statements. Statement first is 1/4 of the weight of each pole is 5 kg. Statement second, the total weight of the 3 wooden box is 20 kilograms more than to total weight of 2 poles. We have 4 options. Option A is this data in statement first alone sufficient to answer the question. Option B is the data in statement second alone is sufficient to answer the question. Option C is the data in statement first and statement second together are sufficient to answer the question. Option D is the data in neither statement first nor statement second are sufficient to answer the question. So question is, what will be the total weight of 10 poles? Find the total weight of 10 poles. Given is each pole is of equal weight. Each pole is of equal weight. So first, taking both statements separately. Okay, now first take statement first. Statement first. According to statement first, 1/4 of the weight of each pole is 10. According to statement first, 1/4 weight of one pole is equals to 5 kg. So total weight of one pole is equals to 5 into 4. It means 20 kg. So total weight of one pole is 20 kg. Now total weight of 10 poles. So total weight of 10 poles is equals to 10 into 20. It means 200 kg. So total weight of 10 poles is 200 kg. It means option A in the data in statement first alone is sufficient to answer the question. It means option A is the correct answer. According check statement second. The total weight of 3 wooden boxes is 20 kilograms more than the total weight of 2 poles. So first find the total weight of 2 poles and then find the 3 wooden box is 20 kilogram more than total weight of 2 poles. So here there is no weight of one pole. It means option statement alone is not sufficient answer the question. Only statement first alone is sufficient answer the question. It means option A is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 69 and 70. P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W are sitting around the circle and are facing the center. So there are 8 persons. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all are facing towards center. Okay, according to question, P is second to the right of T. Here is T and second right, first right and second right. Here is P. Who is the neighbor of R and V? So T is the neighbor of R and V. So R की प्लेस यहाँ हो सकती है तो V यहाँ हो जाएगा. अगर V की प्लेस यहाँ होती तो R की प्लेस यहाँ हो जाएगी. So next is S is not the neighbor of P and U. So S की प्लेस यहाँ नहीं हो सकती because P का neighbor नहीं है S की प्लेस यहाँ नहीं हो सकती. And U. First find the place of U. Next, according to next information, V is the neighbor of U. V is the neighbor of U. So V अगर V की प्लेस अगर यहाँ पे फिक्स होती है तो इसके नेबर ऑलरेडी P एंड T हो जाएंगे. तो इसका मीन्स ये हो गया कि V की प्लेस यहाँ नहीं है, यहाँ प्लेस है R की और V की प्लेस यहाँ है और V का नेबर U. V is the neighbor of U. V is the neighbor of U. So according to second information, S is not the neighbor of P and U. So S की place यहाँ नहीं हो सकती और S की place यहाँ पे भी नहीं हो सकती, because S ना तो P का नेबर है ना U का नेबर है. So let's move on to the next information. So next information is, and Q is not between S and W. Q is not between S and W. W is not between U and S. W is not between U and S. S की प्लेस यहाँ पे बसती है, एक ही प्लेस बसती है S. S की प्लेस यहाँ हो जाएगी, बिकॉज S यहाँ पे नहीं हो सकता और S यहाँ नहीं हो सकता. S की प्लेस यहाँ हो जाएगी. W is not between U and S. यहाँ पे W नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि W किसके बीच नहीं है, U and S के बीच नहीं है, तो W की प्लेस यहाँ पे हो जाएगी. And Q is not between S and W. Q is not between S and W. Q की प्लेस यहाँ हो जाएगी. So question is, which two of the following are not neighbors? Not neighbors. Option A is RV. Here is R and V. So RV is not neighbor. UV. They are neighbors. RP, they are neighbors. TV, they are also neighbors. It means here RV are not neighbors. So it means option A is the correct answer. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is, according to previous question direction, here is T, R, P, S, V, U, Q, and W. So which one is immediate right to the V? Immediate right, all are facing towards center. So right. So who is immediate right of the V? So T is the immediate right of V. So here is option D is the correct answer. Okay, thank you everyone.